Okay. Huh?
You get to do whatever you want.
I don't know what to do. I mean, it's for my job, yeah. Like when things come up and stuff, I always wonder if they're going to until they don't release it. Yeah, I'm getting commission. I'm confused.
Well, I don't have a clear line either.
How are you? Good. That's you. Oh, you. Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Please again.
You here?
Yeah. That light is fine.
I don't have a clear line of communication either. If I send something, I can manage the current copy. Something else.
Everything's a step.
Send the manager emails. How are you? Good. So we'll talk.
Yeah, let me know
Yep.
if they're open to it. Probably the easiest. And
You don't want to sit down with us, do you?
I don't mind. So. Good, how are you?
I'd like to call the City of Benton Commission meeting to order, September 3, 2019. I'd like to begin with the invocation. Mayor Pro Tem and Reverend Pastor Dwayne seats, and it will be followed by pledge of allegiance by Commissioner at Large, Edward Isom.
Gracious God, our Father, we thank you tonight. We love, kindness, and mercy. Thank you for us gathered here. Thank you for safe travel and safe passage to make it here today. We ask you to guide our mouths and guide our hearts, give us wisdom, understanding, and peace abide in this place. Father, I thank you for us doing what's right for the city residents and for the people, senior citizens, and the children and the little ways. God, get the glory out of this meeting tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Let's leave it to the flag.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Adams.
Present.
Commissioner Nelson.
Present.
Commissioner Henderson. Here. Commissioner Henry.
Present.
Commissioner Isom.
Present.
Commissioner Jones.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Present.
Commissioner Singleton.
Present.
Mayor Muhammad.
Present. Is there a motion for the approval of the regular minutes of August 19, 2019? Motion was made by Commissioner Adams and supported by Commissioner Jones. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Singleton.
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson.
Yes.
Commissioner Adams,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Harrelson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Mayor Muhammad.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Is there a motion for the approval of accounts payable listing? Motion is made by Commissioner Adams, supported by Commissioner Harrelson. Is there discussion? Chair recognizes Commissioner Adams.
Thank you. In times past, many have suggested that some of us who sit on boards, when we take trips somewhere, that we would come back and give an update as to what we've learned, if it was class or whatever, conference or whatever, that we would bring information back. There's a couple of Doubletree Hotel items on here, and that's, 8/22/19, that's 71,43.8. No, 71,43.9, 71,44. Go on first page there. And down further, just clarity on the Ben Harbor Homecoming Incorporation, 500, what is that for?
I'll get that answer for you and get it to you.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Question about the Protect security cells. And we also got a couple other taxes. But for the junk removal dumpsters, did we foot the whole bill for that, or was that a grant? For the dumpster, fast act, junk removal and dumpsters, $6,750, did we foot that whole bill, was that part of that grant? One more, I do appreciate it. The fencing and kennels, which, right there, 71477. Need to know what we got for that, if this, please, that's all, I appreciate it, greatly. Thank you, Honorable Mayor.
Chair recognizes City Manager.
We'll take care of that and get it to you.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Harrelson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
No.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Adams,
No.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yes.
Mayor Muhammad.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to public participation.
Eleanor Gadden,
Lisa.
Good evening. I would like to thank you all for giving me an opportunity to speak. The topic is racial equity. Hopefully I will get an opportunity to do a full presentation. I'm about 43 years old, I believe. And I've been watching videos from Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and the same things that they were talking about are still true today. And I provided some resolutions and some ideas maybe a couple months ago. And I would love to see those ideas turn into a reality, regardless of how anybody may feel about me personally. I have some ideas that I believe are great, not because of me, but because I actually listened to the people and I wrote their ideas on paper, and I've talked to some other people who are in agreement with that. And I'm just really hoping that this body will review the resolutions that I shared with you, review the links. I provided a pipeline to peace and prosperity project plan that would give us an opportunity, the city an opportunity to officially connect with the school district as well as other racial equity developers and really create a safe space for our community. What I'm finding is that I thought this would be the very first of its kind, but I noticed that there is a racial equity compliance officer in Fort Myers, Florida, right? So we have an opportunity here to do something very powerful, and it doesn't take years to put it in place. It really takes us reading it and considering it and voting yes. And then we can work out the details as we go and make it better as we go. But I pray that my children and my grandchildren do not watch a video 10 years from now and say, we're still dealing with the same thing that my mother was complaining about. So I hope that we'll take what I've shared very seriously. I emailed everyone, and I pray that we can start becoming the official racial equity compliance officers as opposed to responding to violent protests and things of that nature. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Eddie Marshall.
Good evening, leaders. I'm here on behalf of Sunrise Rotary. What we're asking, if the city would be a sponsor of one of the events they're having this month. We're having a bed race, and we're also having a pumpkin fest. It is my belief that if an organization is carrying the name and giving the benefit that they receive from the fundraisers to community organizations that are worthy. Matter of fact, there's a recipient in the audience right now who have received grants from the Sunrise Rotary Club. And what we do, we raise funds. We take those funds, we buy books, we buy tablets for elementary school children, which I introduced to the Rotary Club. And our focus and our concern is that too many of our children arrive at kindergarten unprepared and start out behind. When they start out behind, they end up behind. At the end of pivotal third grade, our children should be using their reading skills to gain information, think critically, and solve problems. But too many cannot. Even too many finish the third grade without even basic literacy skills. It is our responsibility to make sure that our children get what they need. And as a member of the Rotary Club, we're focused on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Emma Kennard.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'd like to say that I'm kind of almost happy that the season is about to end for gardening. I'm a tired chick this year. But I know that I've missed 2 or 3 months in giving plants out. So I bought an African violet, which I gave to Miss Lisa. She is a violet, beautiful. And I got the Fittonia, the nerve plant, they call it by common name. And I'm gonna give that one to Mr. Singleton, because I've gone around, I think I haven't got, so I won't forget you and C.F. Jones, and I don't know whether I got Miss Henderson yet. And neither have I the mayor, but, it's coming. But I want these plants because we're coming to the time of the year that we're indoors, and plants play a great part of our filtering our air. Also, I want to say that some years ago, we did, the children in the kitchen, and this is some of the jam that this, not edible because it's been some years ago, but this is just to illustrate how beautiful these children put this strawberry jelly together. And we had Miss Ernestine Muhammad that came and taught that class. We want to get back to that in our building now, but also I will be teaching a landscaping class, which will sort of enlighten a lot of people as to how they can do certain things to guard against problems in their own homes. And so sort of to teach that technique to our young people or whoever comes to the class, I think will be a great benefit to Benton Harbor. And so these are just some of the things that I wanted to touch base on that we are trying to do. We're ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And I thank God for that. And we're just gonna just try to hold our heads up. This is a new day. I feel like a whole cloud. I can see much clearer. It looks like the sky is clear to me. So that has given me a new energy here in Benton Harbor. So I thank our commissioners that I speak regularly with. And I'm glad our city manager, he has an open door policy. And that's what I like to see more, so that we can go in and talk to him. It's not a film over the window. So it seems like we're isolated from getting information. So this is, I feel, is a new day and the cloud has lifted. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Kennard, I will accept dandelions as well.
I'll make sure I give you some. No, I won't. I'm gonna give you something else.
Mr. Mayor, if I can say while she's here, have you all seen the front of City Hall?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
This brings us to our consent calendar items, which we only have one today for the agenda. Is there any, or should this item be separate or remain on the consent calendar? Carry none. The subject, approval for the interim city manager Mitchell to sign engagement letter with Raymond Robson for the audit for the year ending June 30, 2019. Recommendation, grant approval for the interim city manager Alice Mitchell to sign the attached engagement letter for the City of Benton Harbor annual audit for year ending June 30, 2019. Justification, because of time constraints in issuing a request for a proposal for an audit firm for the audit for fiscal year ending June 30, 2019, the firm Raymond Robson was requested to extend their services for an additional year beyond their 3-year agreement. An annual financial audit is required for the City of Benton Harbor. The Raymond Robson has been the city's audit firm since 2011. The firm has provided excellent service to the city in preparing the detailed audit financial statements for the City of Benton Harbor. Financial impact quote for services is $47,200 for the base audit, which is up $1,400 from 2018, and an additional fee of $4,000 will be charged the June 30, 2019 audit for the single audit required by the state of Michigan for CDBG. An additional fee of $2,000 will be charged if there are any other federal programs that are required to be included in the single audit. I want to read the resolution. Whereas the city of Benton Harbor is required to have an annual financial audit prepared for the June 30, 2019 fiscal year end that is certified by a certified public accounting firm and submitted to the state of Michigan by December 31st, 2019. And whereas due to time constraints, the city's audit firm from 2011 to 2018, Robson, was requested to provide an extension of their services from their 3-year contract ending June 30, 2018. And whereas Raymond Robson submitted a quote and engagement letter for the city of Benton Harbor for the June 30, 2019 audit, and in the amount of $47,200 for the base audit and $4,000 for the single audit required for CDBG that needs to be signed and accepted by the city manager. And whereas the engagement letter has been reviewed by the Personnel and Finance Committee and recommended that the letter be signed by the city manager. Now therefore be it resolved that Mayor Muhammad and the Benton Harbor City Commission authorize the city manager to sign the engagement letter for services to be provided by Raymond Robson in preparing the financial audit of the city of Benton Harbor for fiscal year ending June 30, 2019. Is there a motion?
So move.
Support.
Motion is made by Commissioner Singleton and is supported by Commissioner Adams. Madam Clerk.
Mayor Pro Tem Stevens,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Adams,
Yes.
Commissioner Harrelson,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Mayor Muhammad.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to staff comments. Chair will recognize our Director of Public Safety, Director McGinnis.
Good evening, Mayor, Noble Commission. You got to flying by. I was trying to find something. A couple of things from the Public Safety Department. First of all, September is Public or National Awareness Month for fire safety. So we'll be putting out some tips. Look to our Facebook and our Twitter page. We'll get those things. We've been very successful in our fire education recently. Last several years being our fire load down, so we want to continue that. So September is Fire Safety Month for FEMA. We'll get some things out to residents. Secondly, actually 2 and 3 are kind of tied together. We got a renewed interest in block clubs, especially Mr. Davis has been on the forefront. A couple of people I've talked to. I'm happy to renew that project with vigor. Right now I'm working on a simple information packet for people that are interested in block clubs. It'll have in it to start off with, information on forming a block club, contact information, reference to commissioners, officers, city services that people can have, and a quick glance, sample bylaw template, registration form for the city so we can have them officially registered like we used to several years ago. Also, additionally, move forward with neighborhood watch information, tip 411, and a brochure. So we're working to get that done. With that being said, additionally, how God works, we were contacted by NAM, which is the Neighborhood Association of Michigan, and they have for us, we didn't call them, I don't know if this is through CD, scholarships to be able to go to their state conference is actually this month, September 20th and 21st. They got spots for Benton Harbor solely for 10 people that want to go, all expenses paid. So I need to know, I found out kind of shortly ago, but if anyone is interested, hint, let me know as soon as possible. I know I think I got Mr. Davis is interested in going up there. Again, that's all expenses paid for a two-day conference, learn about block clubs at the state conference. I'm gonna try to get up there myself as well. So if you're interested or know someone, let them get in contact with me as soon as possible. I think that's good footing for our effort. Lastly, I'm happy to announce that we're going to be partnering with the Sharp Foundation, moving forward on some community projects. Looking hopefully down in 2020 for them to sponsor one of our forums. I look forward to working with Mrs. Swan again. She's a very, very sharp young woman, and she definitely keeps me on my toes. So I'm very happy to be working with her. And that's all I have for now. Thank you, Commissioner.
Chair recognizes our city assessor, Mrs. Lloyd.
I don't have anything to report tonight. Thank you.
Chair recognizes our city attorney, Attorney Earl.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report for this evening.
Chair recognizes our city clerk.
I have a list of 4 vacancies for the city of Benton Harbor. Benton Harbor, St. Joseph Joint Wastewater Treatment Plant, there's 1 vacancy. Board of Review, there's 1 vacancy. Cemetery Board, 2 vacancies. Compensation Commission, 2 vacancies. Construction Board of Appeals, 4 vacancies. Downtown Development Authority, 3 vacancies. Housing Commission, 1 vacancy. Income Tax Appeal Board, 3 vacancies. Contact the city clerk for more information. Thank you.
Ms. Osler, will those be posted or on our website?
Yes,
Where?
I believe she contacts one of you. Yes.
Chair recognizes our city manager, Mr. Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and everyone. The only thing I have is that 9/11 is coming up next week, and we will be flying flags half-mast. Anything else? Let me give you an update on the streets program. Since the mayor and the council did such a good job last meeting. I have met with the architects, the engineers, and our staff team from the water department and from Public Works. That is to say that every project that comes out of here will have a staff person working with that team. So we'll know what's happening inside. They're getting ready to start the project. I don't know the exact start date, but we're looking to start it very soon.
Thank you, sir. Chair recognizes Commissioner at Large, Commissioner Singleton.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Just like thank the citizens coming out. Thank this entire for the plaque there. Wondering when my turn was gonna come.
All right.
Appreciate it. But we're in the process of doing a whole lot of things. I thank the Public Safety Department for their progress. I definitely that was music to my ears to hear that the block clubs are there's some interest in it because I think that the only way we're gonna come back is getting citizens involved, and I think the block clubs are key to doing that. Also would help with the crime, so trash and all that stuff. Everybody's on deck looking out, getting back to that neighborhood community type feeling. So also I got a chance to look over the racial equity resolutions and information that was gathered and sent out. I think that's something that we definitely should be looking at. I seen some of Grand Rapids, they're real progressive. They just passed the ordinance the other week on rights, civil rights local. And it was quite interesting to watch that meeting and also read the ordinance. So there's a lot of things that's happening through urban communities. I think we need to keep an eye on some things. We don't have to reinvent. We just tweak it to fit our situation. So I'm looking forward to see that probably come through the committee, to hear more about it and see if it's something that we can do. Glad also to hear that the streets are getting ready to become safe again. So I appreciate the staff working on that, and the commission again for, you know, their hard work, helping getting that passed. So, just looking forward to, more great things. Summertime is, about to end, and we need to start preparing, looking out for what's coming next. So we know what that is. So get prepared for winter and, looking out for our people with the homeless. You know, I seen the situation at on the river, the apartments there. You know, hoping that some relief could come to those folks and get them some decent housing. So just everybody keep their hands on deck and we keep moving forward.
Thank you, Commissioner Singleton. The chair recognizes Commissioner Ice.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Elected citizens coming out tonight, voicing your concerns, comments. Ms. Gavin, I have been reading that. It's real interesting. And just good job on that. You work hard. You're not giving up. Keep up the good work. Ms. Kennard, you know, I came to City Hall to pay a water bill. No, I came up here, to pay a water bill just to see that transformation, you know, of what you have done. You know, you get down for a young lady. Because I didn't know it was a plaque. It's a plaque down there. I didn't even know that was there. You know, it brightens things up. You know, you see things. You know, color and something new. You know, people want to see something. You know, like the paint and the rocks and the plants. You know, it represents growth, change. You know, I'm a part of the Hillside Block Club, and the ladies wanted to paint. The church was having this 100th anniversary, and they want to paint the little triangle by, I think it's Klein and Colfax. And so we painted the curb yellow, you know, and just that little yellow curb paint brought out the essence of the community, just to paint. So I hope this summer we can do something and paint just, you know, painting the curb sides with the yellow paint around the city. They can enlighten and brighten the city up. So they can, you know, just that little thing like that. And, you know, just like I said, you got to expect good things. Expect good things to happen in Ben Harbor. And it's happening. You know, trust the process. It's happening. Get them ordinances. Enforce them ordinances. Trust the process. God bless you. God bless Ben Harbor. Expect good things. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Ice. The chair recognizes Commissioner at-large Adams.
Thank you, I want to thank the residents for taking time out of your busy schedule, coming down to see how and what's going on in your city and how it affects you. Ms. Kennard, you're always appreciated. Ms. Gavin, I believe and we share some of the same passions, goals, hopes, and dreams. As far as our children are concerned, I don't just believe they are our future, I know that they are. Mr. Marshall, I would hope that you would learn more about My Brother's Keeper and how it can benefit the Sunrise to help to strengthen what you all have going on. I've been getting a lot of flack from people in the community about what's going on the river. I mean, one week they hear something about this large development that's taking place along the river, and then they show this other recording of Captain's Quarter or Captain's something. It's this place down here though, and it's been there for a while, but I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming when the other hotel across down on Main Street was demolished. It's about to get cold outside though. It's about to get cold outside, and we have people on Facebook that will attack the elected officials. We don't rent property, but we do need to do something to hold renters, the property owners, accountable. And I hear that these people are actually paying their rent. We do need to do something, but we can't do it alone. I would hope that somebody, a gang or somebody would get together and put on some different color t-shirts and help with that endeavor. Now, I want to address something that I really felt insulted at our last meeting, and I've been trying to get over it because I've had such a chill and relaxed weekend. But I have to share this because our new city manager actually brought it up, that he would like to see this commission actually attend other committee meetings. And one of our commissioners mentioned it at our last meeting that finally went to a county meeting. Ms. Gavin gave her age away, and I'm not ashamed of mine because 60.
Good number.
I've made it. I'm alive. I'm well, in spite of what others may think or say. I've spent 20 of those, though, down here. 20 of that 60 down here, trying to find out what's wrong in my community when I came back home. This right here, it's a piece of history. It holds a lot of meetings, committee meetings, from the county and around, full of recordings of all sorts. I've been to a lot of committee meetings that others I never see. And it was no fun walking to the governor's mansion by myself with others outside of my colleagues. As a St. Joe Benton Harbor River Authority board member, I've been to so many land bank meetings, and I bet you some people in this room don't even know that I'm actually a committee meeting of the MML, Economic and Land Development Committee, that puts together legislation and bills. And there's a conference coming up, and I'm hoping that it's not the same one that our director was speaking of, but I can't be everywhere. I have grandchildren that I want to take out time to enjoy, but I love the fact that since I've been here, Godspeed, I see growth. I see growth. And a lot of the things that I've been a part of, and it feels wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Adams. The chair recognizes our 4th Ward Commissioner, Commissioner Hales.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I'd just like to thank everyone for coming out, seeing your government in action on tonight. I'd just like to thank ex-Commissioner Marshall. He's not a novice. He knows what he's doing. I appreciate it. I think glad to see you too. You know, we've been a long way back. And also, Emma, you was giving away the flowers, but you didn't say anything about the jam. I think some of us would love jam, but
It's outdated.
all right. Ms. Gavin, I share your dream. And I'm sure my children, my grandchildren, they ask questions. And I try to give them answers the best of my knowledge, what I know. So keep up your work, and we're gonna follow you. All right, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. The chair recognizes the 3rd Ward Commissioner, Commissioner Henry.
I want to thank the citizens for coming out tonight. That's my last.
Chair recognizes our 1st Ward Commissioner, Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, Mayor. Just like to thank everybody for coming out, and just like to say, I guess it was in my early 20s, I first ran for office and got involved in politics because I wanted to make a difference. When Jennifer Granholm was here, when things was hustling and bustling, and people weren't even around, just involved in the background, because I don't necessarily need to be out front, because a lot of times you make changes in the background where people don't necessarily see what you're doing. Attended a lot of meetings, worked with Mr. Knowles, who was one of my mentors during that time, and several others in this community. Mr. Marshall was out there as well. So sometimes you see people, but you never really know what the depth of who they are is, or what they've been involved in. You just make assumptions because you really don't know them, or ask questions to get to know them. So to my point, the meeting that I attended at the county building, the sheriff actually released the statistics. They hadn't been doing that, so they actually released them. So we have statistics from the county for the city of Benton Harbor now. So that did happen as a result of the meeting that I attended. Because I attend those meetings, but my goal is to get a result. Not only attend those meetings, I understand what's happening in those meetings and what's being said in those meetings. So I just don't attend a lot of meetings. I don't sit on a lot of committees because I don't have time, because I do have a full-time job where I work in a school educating students on a regular basis. Been involved in that for a very, very long time. So I don't have time because I have a real job and a real family, a son in college that I have to pay tuition for. So it's unfortunate it's not a full-time role for me. So like I said, you don't always see what people are involved in, what difference they're making or what they're doing. People always make assumptions. I know when I first came on this commission, people made a lot of assumptions about me, made a lot of lies up about me. But I'll tell you this, I'll keep telling the truth about them, and they're gonna continue to lie about me, but I don't care about that because I'm gonna keep telling the truth, do what I do, and you, like I said, vote or don't vote. But at the end of the day, it's about getting things done. Thank you, have a good day.
Thank you, Commissioner Henderson. The chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem Dwayne Siegel.
Thank you, Mayor, my constituents. I think the statement that my young lady was saying, if you keep lying on me, I keep telling the truth on you. That's one statement that is a very true statement. And another one is that organized lie is more powerful than disorganized truth. And that's what a lot of times you get a lot of people with organized lies try to supplant disorganized truth. And I do concur with my constituents that that place down on Riverview Drive is horrendous, but it just didn't start. It's been like that for a lot of years. It's been like that for probably the last 20 years. I know I've been working at my job for 20 years. That place has been like that for 20 years. The problem is you had so many owners. You had about 30 to 40 different owners. But, and let me just throw a curve. We do need to educate our residents on what to stay. But let's not just kill the landlords. You got slum tenants too.
Yeah.
You got tenants who break the back off the house and then move to somebody else's house and do the same thing to them. And tear up house to house, don't pay rent, don't pay water bills, let the dogs run all through the house. So let's not just, limp the landlord because he's paying the taxes, but you got some people who know the game. And if you go every Friday to Barron County to see who's getting evicted, you'll see the same ones going over and over and over again. So let's not, I know it's popular to knock the landlord out, but I mean, you got people, the baby daddy kick the door in, bust the windows out, kids, pee all on the carpet, come everywhere. I'm serious. And then you want the landlord to come and resurrect that house, and then did $2,000 worth of damage and call him a slumlord. The house wasn't looking like that when they moved in. They should take pictures. They should have a list, a sheet, a move-in sheet, a check sheet to see if they've seen everything, watch the smoke detectors, and they look for broke windows, screens, and all that kind of stuff before they move in there. But what's happening is you're getting somebody fresh off eviction who said, I just need somewhere to go. I can't go nowhere. So I just move in right now. No, Then everybody rallied behind the tenant and said the guy was a slumlord, and that's enough of that. So, but it's the truth. And the landlords are not the ones that are flooding the alleys with filth. They're not the ones throwing pampers out the window. They are not the ones running over the septic tank, putting balls down in the toilets and all this kind of stuff. This is going on. So let's be fair to both people, the taxpayer and the hustler. And there is some good tenants out there. But just talk to the Section 8 people. They'll tell you, they put people in houses and they say it's up to you once they get in there. So that's enough of that. All right, so I want to thank, it take you about 3 or 4 weeks to get the soot off the wall from all the smoke. But Yeah, thank you. I appreciate what Ben Harbor's going. Mr. Kennard, that front look, the building's looking fantastic. I want, if my back wasn't like it is, I'll help you.
Oh,
I want to appreciate you for that. And I want my plant to be real green, like you gave Mr. Isom. I like them real green, beautiful plants. They're real green and just bud real good. So I want to thank everybody for coming up. Chief McGinnis, you're doing a good job, man. I know I don't say it often. I want to tell you publicly, with the chief, with the crew you got, I think they got a good understanding now. And you weeded through some of the bad seeds. And you stood up for what was right. When it was time to put your foot down, you've done it. And it's all right to kick you, sometime around. But when you're doing a good job, I want to tell you you're doing a good job. And thank you for even working with Miss Gwen, because that means a lot. Because that means I don't have nothing to hide. And when people don't have anything to hide, then they're willing to work with anybody they can to make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Seats. I'd like to echo the sentiments of my colleagues and thanking the residents for those who showed up tonight and for those who are watching and will watch. We appreciate you tuning in to watch your government at work. I would like to reference a memo that was sent from the County Treasurer, Bert Bukowski. He said, we agree with the city on the horrible conditions of the condo units on Riverview Drive. The county, through the tax foreclosure process, had to foreclose on 43 of the 90 units at the association. The county has been mowing the property and will continue to mow the property for the remainder of the year. The county has pulled all 43 units up for bid at the July auction with minimum bid that are over 140,000. Condos were advertised as one. We are allowed not to have to sell them individually under the state law, and felt that if someone bought them, they needed to buy all of them and not just one here or there. Of the 43 units, there was outstanding water and sewer bills totaling $32,000, which were left unpaid by the condo association. Under state law, the county does not have to place these properties in the second auction, and Mr. Bukowski assured me that they would not, and the county does not intend to put these units in the September 17th auction. We will not sell the units to someone looking for the tax write-off or quick cash by renting them. The County Land Bank is meeting Thursday. For my knowledge, the building on the right, as you are looking at the facility, has electric but no gas, which means they probably do not have hot water, which is true. As you probably saw on the ABC 57 special, where the tenants are living in squalor, they do not have they don't have hot water. The gas was turned off. The gas company has declared that they will not turn it back on, given the fact that the condition of the building. But the electric does work. Some of the tenants had issues with the toilet, so some of them have not been able to use it in their apartments. So I think that there certainly needs to be some type of battle cry and rally to make sure that those residents receive justice. One tenant said he's been paying $475 a month and has never been late and has never missed. And the conditions is beyond, it's inhumane. A couple things can happen. They are categorized as condominiums. There's a sweeping phenom where over 25% of the construction can be paid for with federal dollars if the apartments are, or not condominiums, are renovated. But the key is they have to provide so many units for low income. Otherwise, if they're knocked down and new condominiums are built, then they are not entitled or they cannot receive federal funding or government subsidies to build new condominiums after the others are demolished. So I think this council needs to maybe have some type of retreat in the future, and we need to discuss how the city can play a role in making sure that that development continues to service, but in a better way. I will be speaking with the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, Mayor Ross Baraka, concerning the water issue there, which is quite different from ours. However, they have grabbed national attention like Flint. I also spoke with Mayor Weaver, and she had mentioned some of the contractors that are working in Flint replacing lead lines. The city is mandated to replace so many lines per year of homes that have lead lines, and that's 18 inches in. So there's a lot of work to be done. We have put out notices as it relates to the different challenges that we have received, potential threats. But as it stands, our water source is safe. However, there are issues when they get to the homes. And we are working on that through the city manager's office. So thank you for coming out again. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Or.
Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson? Yes. Commissioner Henry?
Yes.
Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney?
Yes.
Letter from the.
Anybody that voted no on the resolution, there's a resolution.
Oh, we don't want no check. Who wants a check? Give me a check, I'll pay.
Thank you. Okay.
We don't want it.
Oh, shoot.
I got a date for you. I got a date for you. Tuesday.
Yes.
Tonight.
Okay, good work.
Make sure.
I heard her say there's an opening over the review.
Yeah, but